Well, the impossible mission for this one's me going to try and stay awake for this review because this film is long. It's Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Let's talk about it. G'day, it's Adam here again with another quick instant movie review for you. So tonight I caught Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning after Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1, which is now called Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning because Part 1 just doesn't work. Anyway, this film has Ethan back. It's set about 2 months after the previous film, where Ethan has escaped with the key, which is going to be the thing that's going to stop the entity from taking over the world. Unfortunately, though, those 2 months where Ethan has been absent, the entity has done almost that. It has started to turn people against each other. It started to do deep fakes. It started to manipulate things, cause political havoc, and sets the world on itchy trigger fingers where all the world powers are about to potentially let off their nuclear bombs and start World War III, which is what the entity wants to do. So it's really up to Ethan to not only stop it, but also be blamed for everything that he's done over the years, which has all led to this point, but also makes him the only guy who can stop everything that could potentially happen to happen. Yes, this film is one of those films where it has a lot going on, but it is over-explained a lot. So this film goes for nearly 3 hours. It's the longest Mission Impossible film, and I think it bet the last one by about 5 minutes or something like that. And I do feel the running time on this one, to be honest with you. There is about 45 minutes to an hour that really could have been cut out of this film and made it a bit more taut and tight. Is it terrific? It's good, but it's not as good as the previous ones. Again, I think Fallout really set the bar for the Mission Impossible films. And I really did enjoy Dead Reckoning Part 1, or just Dead Reckoning. I thought it was really good, although the entity was said way too many times. But I did enjoy that film more than this one, unfortunately. This one really did feel like we've got 3 stunts we really want Tom Cruise to do, and we're going to fit the rest of the story around it. And it's got the weakest villain. Like, the villain of this, he's just so weak. The biplane stuff is good. The stuff underwater is good. You know, the running sequences are really great. We've got all the familiar guys back again. Benji, Luther, Grace is back. Haley Atwell, who was great in the last one, is back as well. So, and we've got a familiar faces from be it 29 or 30 years ago when the first film came out. So we've got a few familiar faces in this thing. So it's good, but it's not great. And I did also feel like it was a bit of a greatest hits of Mission Impossible. Like we have so many flashbacks that really, if you're invested in the films, you would have kind of picked up on what was being spoken about. So why do we have to flash back? There are some good editing moments in this. There's kind of 2 fights that are kind of combined together, which is pretty cool. But, overall, this film, it wasn't the swan song that I wanted. And I just kind of felt like we were just hanging a lot of stuff on these 3 big set pieces. Whereas the other film, at least Dead Reckoning, kind of did really feel like it had a bit of a cohesive, propelling story. This one kind of feels like we're sort of treading water a little bit. Look, it is good. And if you can, because there is some pretty fantastic sequences in this, I would say see it on the biggest screen possible, because it does have some amazing cinematic moments. Christopher McQuarrie and Tom Cruise have obviously sat there going, what is going to be the most spectacular thing that we can put up on the big screen? And they've found some really great moments in there. So it is definitely worth seeing up on the big screen. Yeah, there is some really big moments in this, and the soundtrack does carry it forward. I just really wish that this wasn't so over explaining everything all the time. I just wish it didn't do that, and it did feel like a bit of a megalomaniac moment for Tom Cruise, that most of the other characters really do get sidelined in this, and you have some big names in here as well. So Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, I would probably give a 7 out of 10. Had some great spectacular moments. There is some big moments in this, but I just felt like it wasn't overly cohesive as a full story, and a lot could have been taken out of this. What is your favorite Mission Impossible film? Do you have one? And if you do, what's your favorite stunt within it? Comment below, let me know. I'd love to find out, and I look forward to catching up with you all next time here in my car, where it is not an impossible mission to stay awake. All right, catch you next time. Bye.